What happened in Crimea in 2014? Conclusions. So basically a summary of the film number 1 of the series War in Ukraine 2014. Don't expect from me here proofs or video proofs. I have 5 videos about it, and there are video proofs of everything there. This video is just a conclusions, short summary of what happened. This is important because this modern war and full-scale invasion Russia started in 2022, in February 24th. This is a direct result of the war Russia started, a continuing of the war Russia started in Ukraine in 2014. Hello there, I'm Elena. This is my channel Enough. This is a political channel. It's called Enough of Propaganda. This video is against Putin's propaganda about war in Ukraine and about Russian illegal annexation of Crimea. As I proved in the series of my videos about this, what exactly happened. So in 1991, when Ukraine got their independence back, and all Ukraine, every part of the country, every oblast or region voted about this, include Crimea, and majority in every part of the country voted to be independent country of Ukraine. There is no question about it. Ukraine is independent country by international law. And it was accepted by everyone, include Russia, and Putin was agree with it. More than that, in 1994, when Ukraine gave to Russia all its nuclear arsenal, which was third in the world, several countries signed Budapest Memorandum, which was United States, United Kingdom, Russia, and Ukraine. I'm talking about only this one. There is another Budapest Memorandum. But for the purpose of my video, I'm talking about only that one, which is these countries give their word that they're going to defend the borders of Ukraine, Ukraine's sovereignty and independence. That they're not going to attack Ukraine with nuclear weapons. You're welcome to read that memorandum. I show it in my videos, so you're welcome to do it yourself. And even Putin was agreed with it. And I'm showing in my videos, in several of them, and especially in this series, that Putin personally, when he gave the interview to German IRD channel in 2008, said clearly that he agreed with the borders of Ukraine, that there was no even question in that interview that he has some sort of ideas about Crimea. On the contrary, he was very upset and feel like hurt when the journalist asked, is Ukraine is your next target? Because Russia at the time just grabbed the parts of Georgia. Putin was so upset. How dare you saying it's our next target? There couldn't be a next target. There is no even problems in Crimea. There is some sort of issues, but it's internal affairs of Ukraine, period. He clearly stated that, and he lied again. In this channel, you will see so many things and so many times Putin lied. That is why I'm standing up against all that propaganda about coup that never happened in Ukraine. Russia attacked Ukraine on February 20th, 2014. They issued medal when for the capturing Crimea, which the date when it started is the date I just named to you. At the time, legally elected Ukrainian President Yanukovych was in Kyiv. He was president of Ukraine. He ran away the next day, but Russia was already attacked Ukraine, and Russia admitted it to it. And so is Ukraine confirmed the date as well. But in these videos, you see how it was done. It was hybrid occupation, and 73,000 Russian troops invaded Crimea. It was hybrid occupation, and it was forces, not just Russian army. Some of them already were in Sevastopol. It's right here in Russian military base, which they had agreement with Ukraine at the time to have. But some of them get there by different ways, and I showed you how it was done. Some of them were pretending to be citizens of Ukraine from Crimea or from other areas of Ukraine. And it wasn't the decision of Crimean people. Nothing was happening neither in Crimea nor in Donbass, beside a few meetings which some people would disagree with Maidan in Ukraine. Yanukovych, the president of Ukraine at the time, ran away. He abandoned his country And I have pieces of interview of Mr. Alexander Turchinov, who became a temporary president of Ukraine before the real president was elected, Petro Poroshenko. And Turchinov was the only legitimate power in the country because he was the chairman of Verkhovna Rada, Ukrainian parliament. At the time, after Yanukovych ran away, lots of other people and important people in military or in the government ran away as well. The country was in chaos, basically. They didn't have a government, they didn't have a president, they didn't have a prime minister, they didn't have anybody except the legally elected parliament of Ukraine, elected by Ukrainian people, and their chairman Turchinov. So Turchinov became temporary president. And how it was all was happening, I have a whole video about timeline of the annexation, when Russian citizens with Russian passports, include FSB officers like Girkin Strelkov, for instance, who claiming that he started the war in Ukraine, and he's right. I was researching it for over 9 years, and these videos are a result of my research. Strelkov was claiming, and rightfully so, that he started the war in Ukraine. Well, Putin started the war in Ukraine, but by the hands of Strelkov. And when they forced the deputies of Crimean parliament to make a decision under the gunpoint that the Crimea need a referendum. Before that, there was done polls before Russia attacked Ukraine and invaded Crimea. Polls were done in Ukraine, include Crimea, several times in 2011 and 2013, before Russia put gun to the Crimean people's heads. Crimean people claim that 40% of them claim that they consider themselves Russians, despite of their passport. And yet, 67% of them were saying that they wanted Crimea as a part of Ukraine, period. And only 23% in 2013 wanted Crimea as a part of Russia. They wanted Crimea separate from Ukraine and given to Russia. So majority of people in Crimea wanted to be part of Ukraine. That is why nothing was happening in Crimea. There was no separatist decisions of movements or referendums or anything like that. The same thing was happening in Donbass. Nothing was happening there. Nobody was shot, nobody was bombed, nothing like that was happening. More than that, Ukrainian army peacefully left Crimea. Didn't fire a shot. And not didn't fire a shot, but I mean didn't fire a shot at people. And the first person who died in Crimea, it was after Russia passed the referendum and after Crimea became, in Russian law, Russian. The military, one of the part of Ukrainian military, one officer was shot, Ukrainian officer, in Crimea. Ukrainian army didn't kill anyone in Crimea. Russia did, after they annexed Crimea and attached it to Russia, in their opinion. Russia broke the international law, and neither NATO nor anybody did anything to provoke Russia, and everything like that is a lie. It's not true, and I'm proving it beyond any doubts in my videos. That is why I did 5 big videos about Crimea, include the statements of Mr. Turchinov, who actually was a leader of the country at the time. He saw it firsthand, and he told how it was. And I provide the statements from Putin, from Girkin Strelkov, from the sides who were involved and who actually were there. And Russia attacked Ukraine and made it hybrid occupation by using 73,000 or so Russian troops. And so is bandits and Cossacks who pretended to be Crimean. They were not. They were Russian citizens with Russian passports who came to Crimea and grabbed it. And the same groups and the same troops, only not with that many. That is why they couldn't attach so-called Donetsk People Republic and Lugansk People Republic to Russia at the time, because there was no Russian army there. And this was the witness statement of Girkin Strelkov himself. He said the only difference between Crimea and Donbass was there was not enough Russian army there. So it wasn't the will of Ukrainians. It was Putin's power grab because he could do it. And nobody provoked him. He attacked Ukraine because he thought he can. Because he wasn't stopped. Not after Chechnya, not after Georgia, not after Moldova, not after Syria. Well, Syria was started at the time because he wanted to distract people's opinion from Crimea, from annexation of Crimea. And the world did not much. Well, they did something, they put some sanctions, but it didn't work as intended, and countries returned to business as usual, and they didn't help Ukraine. Now we have to help Ukraine, we have to stand up for Ukraine. You're welcome to look in depth and learn for once and for all, how it all happened, true facts, with the witness statements and videos, and know what happened. So you didn't believe in all that garbage and nonsense and Putin's propaganda about NATO provoked somebody, there was some sort of a coup. There was no coup. President of Ukraine, Yanukovych, ran away and abandoned his country. Period. And at the time, Russia was already attacked Ukraine, when the legally elected president of Ukraine was in power. More than that, in 2013, before Maidan, before anything, Russia had military exercises, it's called West 2013, when Russia and Belarus practiced hybrid occupation and practiced potential scenario like some friendly country get some sort of insurgents who removed the legal president from power, and he is asking Russia and Belarus for help. So it wasn't spontaneous. Putin planned it. It was planned long ago, before even Maidan happened. So there was no coup, period. Russia attacked Ukraine because Putin thought he can get away with it. And he did. In 2014. That is why he decided it's okay to attack in 2022. He thought in 3 days he will be in Kyiv, grabbed it. And what are you gonna do now? The rest of the world. Kyiv is mine, and I'm thinking that's what Ukrainians want. Prigozhin and his coup recently in Russia, just a couple weeks ago, almost get to Moscow. Does it mean Russian people wanted it? No, it doesn't. Neither was in Ukraine. That is why Ukraine needs all our help, because Ukraine is the only thing which is standing between Russian bloody dictator, who will not gonna stop even if he get the whole Ukraine, which is not gonna happen. Putin has already lost the war. He knows that, but he still keep killing people there, Russians and Ukrainians alike. We have to help Ukraine and give them anything they need to win this war, because otherwise Ukraine will be exterminated. And I proved it by providing video where Russians stating what they want from Ukraine, what they want to do with Ukraine. You're welcome to see it. It's on my channel. Putin's original plan exposed, it's called. That's the name of the video. And that is why we need to help Ukraine, because Putin not gonna stop on Ukraine. And Russian former ambassador, American former ambassador in Russia, confirmed what I say. So thank you for watching my series. I'll try to make another video about Donbass. And please help Ukraine. And have a great day or evening. Thank you for watching.